Tom Jauncey of Beautiful Destinations, who's just moved to Dubai. I'd love to hear about that. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. No, it's great to be here, Casey. So, yeah, I mean, a year ago, I never would have thought that I'd be here in Dubai. New York was home, and I'd been there for 11 years. And then, obviously, with COVID and everything, we suddenly changed the mindset and became a remote company. And basically, an opportunity came here to shoot the world's coolest winter campaign over the last month or so. And that suddenly turned into so many more opportunities, and the realization that I actually genuinely believe that Dubai is the best place to live in the world right now. And that made me stay. So I'm here now for 2021.
100%. We have so many residents here who are just we feel so lucky to have been here for the last year. But to give people an idea, just in case they don't know, what is Beautiful Destinations? What are you about? How can people find you? What type of content do you create?
Absolutely. So I guess our whole mission is around travel as a force for good. The idea that we can create content that inspires people to travel. So with travel, it breaks down all boundaries, racism, bigotry, all of that type of thing, equality. We can really push that you learn from opening your mind to travel through those experiences. So we thought, could we be a young, fresh take on travel? How could we show what real travel looks like through the lens of an authentic traveler? So it's creating content that could be on your phone, it could be on a drone, it could be on a professional camera, but it makes you want to go there. So we've been doing that now since 2014. Our first campaign actually, ironically, was here in Dubai.
Really?
So it is kind of cool to do a whole 360 back into the region.
Amazing.
But yeah, all of the content is really just to get you off your seat to go traveling. Obviously now you can't do that with COVID, but when things reopen, when the world gets back to normal, hopefully we'll be there to kind of push that inspiration.
And we'll talk about your kind of past experiences in Dubai in a little bit, but you mentioned and I follow Beautiful Destinations, and it's got around 15 million followers on Instagram, but you have different accounts. But actually, it's not just an Instagram profile, which the regular user would just see nice videos. You're a massive company. You've made you're making $16 million, I think, a year. This is a stat that we found, which is incredible. And it's your brother is CEO. How did it come about 7 years ago? And how did you get to the point that you're making so much money through this content?
Yeah, so I guess it all.
Well done, by the way. That's amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's interesting on the stats side. So yeah, I mean, our whole mindset was how could we disrupt travel? So back in the day, so yeah, my brother's a CEO, and then myself and another partner came into the business. So this is back in 2014, and the whole mindset was, could we change the way that travel content was being created? We felt that everything. So my background was all advertising and marketing within brand, and I felt that travel was really flat. It was always the couples holding hands on the beach, the kids kind of waving. It wasn't really what travel looked like. It wasn't the travel experiences I was having. And I think we just thought, could we do it better? Could I get out my phone and could I start learning content? Could I start to push out what I thought people would want to see? And that was at the beginning of the explosion of social, specifically around Instagram. So we got onto that early, and then from there just realized that actually we could take away budgets that were going to TV. We could take away budgets that were going to traditional media. Who's tuning into any of that content? The consumer attention's on your phone. And if you put out the right content to the right people, you're going to get that reaction. So it was definitely difficult in the early days, knocking on people's doors. I mean, we were going into governments, they're traditional organizations with a lot of seniority there, with no credibility. We were just an Instagram account, is what a lot of the conversations would start with. And then when we started to explain a little bit more about the future of social, people started to open their doors. And as I mentioned, our first campaign was probably here in Dubai. We ran something called the World's Ultimate Insta-Meet. And we brought in a bunch of influential people before they were really influencers. And that blew up. Dubai won all of these Ad Age Awards, all of the advertising awards. And then from there, it kind of built and built.
It's so interesting. You're trying to educate people about how social media can be a business before it was even a thing. There's something I want to say. So you actually did stand us up on Tuesday or Monday. But it was literally the most polite email we've ever gotten. It was like 3 paragraphs long about, I'm so sorry, but you had a very valid reason. And this is why I'm thinking, so you're a business, but also you're really, really good content creators, and you really care about creating amazing content. 100%. So can you tell everyone why you stood us up?
So the fog, that's been something I've dreamt of literally for 10 years. Whenever I first saw content of the fog here in Dubai, I mean, it's unlike anywhere else in the world. You don't get that in other places with huge sky rises. So I think for me, when that came up, I was like, sorry guys, the fog's coming in tomorrow. Please, can we push this?
Yeah, of course.
And then on top of that, we've had 9 days in Dubai of the fog. And now I've heard like it happens a couple of times a year. Now to get that consistently in a row is crazy. So I've been in position ready for sunrise in crazy spots on 8 of those 9 locations.
Wow.
And so then I was like, sorry, guys, I gotta
course.
push the meeting. But I mean, it was amazing.
Worth it for the content.
And the content has just been crazy. And I think my whole take is, how do I do something a little bit different? And for me, what I'm so excited about being in Dubai is this place has been shot thousands of times before, but how do I take a unique angle on that? How do I do something a little bit different? And I feel the video at the Sky View with the dancer really kind of summed up my personality in terms of everyone's been there. There's no discredit to anyone that shot the shot of walking into the pool.
The Thalavi view of, is it the Burj Khalifa view right there in front of that pool that we've all seen, but actually you're right, this is a new take on it.
Yeah, so everyone always walks into the pool, it's that kind of cliche shot. And then I was like, nah, if I'm getting access to that, I need to do something different. And then literally the night before, brought in a dancer, choreographed out an act. That day, morning of, made something pretty special, I feel.
You're so right though about the fog being so spectacular. I think someone said, you know, in Switzerland they have the Alps, and in another country they have incredible mountains. We have the fog, we have it once or twice a year. But so the video that people are seeing, if you're watching on Facebook right now, is you on top of a building. And now there's question marks over these videos because content creators do go to the top of buildings and it can be dangerous to society. However, you have a little secret behind the content that you create in that it may look as though he's about to fall over the side of the building, and it's actually very hard to look at because I'm like, what are you doing? But there's a secret behind it, right?
I mean, it's all about the angles. It's all about the perspective. You can, especially when you're using, so in that case, I was using an iPhone. So the way that you can hide the angles, the way you can hide balconies, the way that you can make things look a little bit more, I guess, eye-opening or wow factor, that's always a play that I'm looking at. So for me, it's always about the angles. In this case, there wasn't in frame that you could see, but there was a balcony underneath. So yeah, you don't need to worry about that.
But it's so scary. But has your content creation ever taken you to kind of scary, dizzying heights, or, you know, helicopter situations or anything like that?
I mean, absolutely. I think it's a big part of my personality is that kind of adrenaline side of things. Always done with safe measures, but always done in a way that does have that reaction of wow, like, because you almost want to give someone that experience without them having to do it themselves. So for us, it's like I'm often doing stunts. I did a crazy one 2 years ago here in Dubai with Aquaman, where I freedived in, the first person to ever freedive in the Atlantis tank. And I didn't know how to freedive. But I asked the team and I had an idea, and I think I'm always thinking through unique ideas. When I saw that tank and I thought...
We actually have that video if we can play it on Facebook now. So.
When I saw the tank, I thought, I've always seen the shot of someone standing and putting their hand on the glass. What if someone was in the tank? And Aquaman had just come out, they just put a statue in there. And that's where I thought, okay, these types of things, they're adrenaline based, they're fun. Yes, they are dangerous, but done in the right way, you can always make something special.
It's so cool. And I want to bring up a couple of videos so people really see the type of content you're creating, because it's not your run-of-the-mill stuff. And the Aquaman connection was something that I wanted to bring up first. And we have the video. So it started with an experience at Lost Chambers. How do you get into these? How does that connection happen? And Aquaman is such a huge movie. How were you at the very beginning of the was it the promos for that or something? How did that happen?
So I guess it's always, I really like to be on the pulse of what's going on. I guess I kind of look at like social as being on the speed of culture. Like things are moving quickly, and if you're on top of that daily, then you can be ahead of everyone else. So it's almost looking at the opportunity. So Aquaman had just come out, they were putting a lot of budgeting behind that. Atlantis had just put a big statue in there, and I was like, you guys haven't done any promotional content for this, why don't we do something here? Can you get me a trident? Can you get me in the tank? And they were like, let's do it. So I think it's all about, my biggest thing is an idea is worth nothing if you can't execute it. How do you execute that? And think through the execution plan to make that happen. If you can execute it, go ahead and do it.
I think that's so interesting because, you know, I think that you literally grabbed an opportunity and it turned into something so huge and so memorable. When was that?
2018, end of 2018. It was New Year's 2018, 2019.
And you're back again.
Back again, yeah.
The next video I want to talk about, which we have, is a train going through the Swiss Alps. It was on Beautiful Destinations. It has 2.2 million views and it's about 3 seconds long.
Yeah.
So first of all, do you know when you're posting that it's going to be a hit?
Yeah, I think for us, we've now kind of, I guess, codified what works on social. We know the types of things, we know the types of music, we know the type of quick cuts, the way that first couple of seconds is so key. How do you hook someone in there? But the way that I actually push the team is, I almost say, if I wanted to visualize a destination, what would that visualization be in my head? Now let's represent that on social media. So for example, you don't go to Santorini and think of Santorini in the cold, in the rain, in the clouds, all of that kind of thing. You think of that at the sunrise, bright orange, yellow colors, that type of thing. So for us, it's almost like, how do we put out the most pristine element of what a destination represents? And then that's the one in everyone's head. And if you can tie into that, then people share that, oh my God, I want to go there, I want to experience that. So that's kind of the way that we've now been able to codify what works and what doesn't on social.
Yeah, like this video, I just remember seeing it. So that's why I picked it out today. And then I saw that it had, or it's 1.1 million views, and I just wanted to share. But my question as well is, who is the girl in the video? Who took the video? And all of your videos, do you actually send people to those destinations? Are people sharing footage with you? You're a team of 40, I believe. Yeah. Is this the dream job? Are people traveling to all these destinations all the time? Or would it be maybe more cost effective to get someone on the ground there and say, I just need a nice video of this because I know what I want?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's actually a mix, and I guess the business has evolved in a number of different ways. So we have an internal core team of creators that we ran a campaign that was literally called that, The World's Coolest Job, about 3 years ago. And it was to send a creator to a new destination every week. And that kind of turned into actually, and then initially hiring one person turned into hiring 10 creators.
Wow.
Now, from there, that's then evolved into, we've got our team, our core team. We've then got basically the BD family, which is kind of the best creators from around the world that are part of our network, that we do send on client jobs, we send or share their content when they're in destinations. And then we've got the wider community. So it's 25 million across all of our channels. Now, that could be the everyday traveler that suddenly caught an amazing iPhone shot of the train, let's say, for example, in Switzerland, and then sends it through. So it's amazing that we have a community of our core team, amazing creators, and then the general everyday traveler. So it's a mix of that. And yeah, we're really lucky to constantly be getting brilliant content being sent in. And I love the fact that, and that's why I've been pushing a lot of mobile content, is anyone can make something amazing with what's in their pocket. And I really push people to try that. I feel TikTok really was the rise of, everyone's got creative ideas. They never really had a platform to use those ideas. And now that enabled the everyday person to become a creator in some sense.
Yeah, because there's no perfection with TikTok. It's just throw it up and it actually might do quite well.
Exactly, yeah.
Are BD using TikTok?
Yeah, so we just hit over 500,000 a couple of days ago. So TikTok's been a big push for the last year. Definitely not an emerging platform anymore, but if you're not on it, you should be on it.
Yeah, no, I mean, we get great content in terms of stories that people, just like stories of, like you said, people kind of in there. Not perfection, but just sharing kind of nice community stories. So we get a lot of that in Dubai. The final video that I want to show is a hideaway in Tulum, Mexico. And you actually mentioned you were in Tulum recently, so maybe you took it. But my question is, how do you find these really unique, because you could be in an office somewhere around the world and you could know that the Santorini is amazing and how we want to visualize it, but how do you find the hidden gems?
Yeah, so that's again another kind of secret sauce and lucky element of the community is it's really amazing when we land somewhere, we have so much pride from the people that live there that they want to show us around. So just an example, it's why I feel so welcomed here. I arrived in Dubai, didn't know anyone, and then suddenly tons of people reach out. Hey, let's go here. I want to show you here. This is my mom or dad's restaurant. I'm so proud of it. And it's really cool. So we have that everywhere we go. So we were in Tulum for a month in November, December. And from there, the number of people in the community that reached out as well wanted to showcase things. So we're always big believers on, can we showcase the hidden gems? Can we show something a little bit different? So it's also doing extensive research. Like I'm always going down the rabbit holes on Instagram, trying to find new locations, new talent, new creators. So it's a mix of the community reaching out saying, I've got to take you here, through to us doing a bit of research on the back end.
Yeah, because I feel like Dubai, we see a lot of the same shots all the time. So actually finding those unique gems is not that easy. Before we finish up, I just want to ask you, obviously, it's been a tricky year for everyone. COVID has changed a lot of things. How has COVID impacted a travel business?
We've actually been really lucky and I guess blessed to say that it's been a big silver lining in a number of different ways. I think for us, the first one was going remote. So in June of last year, we made the decision to shut down the New York office and from there go remote. And it suddenly opened up opportunities to have different presences in different regions. So me, for example, I would never have been here if it hadn't been for COVID. And now that's opened up a whole opportunity within the Gulf region to actually invest more in the likes of Dubai, Abu Dhabi, all of these different destinations around. So that's been great. Then the second thing is also productivity. I think we've realized that we can now get a lot more done and we can tap into people that are around the world. So it was really exciting. We launched a campaign called What's in Your Backyard. That was the whole idea of let's promote local travel. You might not be able to travel across borders, but you can go 20 minutes away from what's in your home. So that opened up a whole community element of content being sent in from people. There was an example of a Portuguese guy in the Algarve who sent some amazing stuff that no one had ever really seen before. And he hadn't even really explored there before. So I think that type of thing just pushes people to try something different. And then for us, I think the very exciting thing for 2021 is travel is going to reopen. And it's not going to happen day one, everyone reopens. It's going to happen almost like in a calendar way. So one day the Bahamas might open, one day Jamaica, then America, whatever it is. So we really believe we're the only company in the world that could put a stake in the ground and say, this country is open for business and this is what it looks like. All we need to do is go live on our Instagram stories and show what we're experiencing as a team. I genuinely don't believe there's any company in the world that could do that within travel. And we can get millions of people seeing exactly what the travel experience could look like if you're in that country right at that moment. So from a new business standpoint, I'm really excited about what that can turn into for travel for 2021.
Amazing. And from a new business standpoint, I'm sure you're excited to be in Dubai. So you've officially moved here.
Absolutely.
Beautiful destinations is now represented in Dubai. And I find, of course, like we are the most beautiful city in the world. So welcome. What does that look like for beautiful destinations? Is there one of you? Is there two of you? How are you going to spread your business wings in Dubai?
Absolutely. So the big thing that I'm focusing on here is innovation. So I'm almost in the mindset of, there's almost two sides to the business. We have the agency side, which is where we're the agency of record for the likes of Jamaica, for Brand USA, for the Philippines, for other countries. So cool. And then the flip side of that is the entertainment and media side. And that's really what I run. So what I actually want to carve out here in Dubai is almost like an innovation lab. How do I come up with crazy ideas? How do I come up with things that turn into collaborations and partnerships that really push the boundaries of content, but also push the boundaries into other industries? So I feel this is the place to do it. I mean, you've got the world's tallest building. You've got so many different
world's
mindsets.
Tallest hotel. We have the world's largest flower garden. We could go on and on and on.
Like everything. And I love that mindset because I'm a big believer in no idea is a stupid idea. As I said, as long as you can figure out a way to do it. So I think for us is like, how do we find ways of truly innovating, and what can we do that pushes the boundaries in terms of technology, in terms of travel content here in Dubai? So that's just going to range from a bunch of different things.
Super cool. Well, welcome to Dubai from myself and Alibaba and everyone else in the studio and in Lovin HQ. That is it for us. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Casey.
See you soon, guys. Bye-bye. Guys, that is a wrap for the Lovin Daily. We are back same time, same place every weekday morning. And of course, don't miss the Lovin Show every Tuesday where I chat with Dubai personalities. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and have a great day.